This is Florida's new plan to kill property taxes, and I'm going to break it down into 5 simple steps. But here's the catch. Florida politicians hate it. In this video, I'll show you why Democrats and Republicans are fighting like hell to keep you paying property taxes, how your property tax money is funding NGOs and nonprofits you've never even heard of, and I'll show you where the money for schools, police, and firefighters is going to come from if we eliminate property taxes in Florida. Let's jump in. Governor Ron DeSantis has been pushing to eliminate property taxes for over a year now.
So what we're going to do is we're going to place a question on the ballot that is going to allow Floridians to be able to vote themselves relief from property tax. And as I said, my vision is, if you own your home, to truly own it, you have to own it free and clear of the government. You shouldn't have to pay rent to the government.
Hell yeah, that should be a no-brainer. This thing should have passed yesterday. Property taxes are crushing everybody. Seniors on fixed incomes are getting hammered. Families who've lived in their homes for decades are watching their bills go up every year for no reason. And if you just bought a home, forget it. Your property taxes are probably triple what your neighbor pays for the exact same fire, police, and road services. Same neighborhood, same everything. But because they bought 20 or 30 years ago, they're paying a third of your bill. Even if you retire and pay off your house, you're still writing a check to the government every year just to keep living in it. That's not ownership, that's rent. Can't pay? They'll take it from you. So you never really own it. The county does. DeSantis wants to end that. He wants fairness. He wants freedom. He wants your home to actually be yours. And if anybody's earned the right to push this, it's him. DeSantis won his re-election in a blowout. He flipped Florida from a swing state with 260,000 more Democrats in 2018 to a deep red state with 1.4 million more Republicans today. And that wasn't luck, it was results. He passed laws that protect Floridians. He backed the cops, he didn't coddle criminals, he ran the state like it mattered. And it shows. Q2 just broke the all-time tourism record, 34.4 million visitors. U.S. News & World Report ranks Florida #1 in economy, #2 in education. He's paid off half the state's debt, which took 180 years to pile up, and stacked $15 billion in reserves. So if DeSantis says it's time to end property taxes, Republicans should be lining up to make it happen. But they're not. And here's the problem. He can't do it alone. The governor can't introduce bills. That's on state lawmakers. They're the ones who need to step up, write the legislation, and get it moving. And so far, crickets. Not one of them has done it. So yeah, Florida's winning, DeSantis is crushing it, but his own party's dragging its feet. Why? Now we know Democrats don't want to end property taxes. That shouldn't shock anybody. But the real problem? Republicans. They're the ones pushing back. They've introduced 8 bills or joint resolutions in the Florida House, and not one of them actually eliminates property taxes. Some of them throw seniors a small tax cut, but still make them pay school taxes, even though they don't have kids in the system. Others set up impossible hoops just to get a little relief. But again, not one of these bills fully eliminates property taxes. And the state Senate? No better. Democrats introduced 5 bills, and while I'm shocked they even bothered, none of those kill property taxes either. But here's why. All 13 of these proposals are one giant scam. The whole goal is to get property tax elimination on the ballot in November 2026 and let the people vote on it. And to change the Florida Constitution, it takes 60% of voters to approve a joint resolution. That's a supermajority. And the more options you throw on the ballot, the harder it gets to hit that number. Let me show you how this scam works. Picture a room with 100 people and you ask, who wants vanilla ice cream? Simple, right? Most people raise their hands and vanilla wins. But now throw in 5 more flavors. Chocolate, strawberry, cookie dough, mint chocolate chip, Rocky Road. People split their votes. Now, no flavor gets 60%. Nothing passes. That's exactly what Florida politicians are doing. They're splitting the vote on purpose. They want to look like they're helping when really they're protecting the property tax system, the one that keeps their budgets fat and their pet projects funded. Because here's the truth. They don't want property taxes gone. That's their piggy bank. That's how they keep money flowing to bloated programs and nonprofits nobody voted for. It lets them pretend they're doing something good for the community when really they're just managing the illusion. And when it fails, which they know it will, they'll go on TV and say, hey, we tried, the voters just didn't support it. It's a setup, and it's built to make you think you're the reason change didn't happen, because they're going to blame you. And these state politicians get their endorsements from local mayors and county commissioners, so they don't want to piss them off. I did a whole video breaking down these 13 BS property tax proposals, links in the description below. And you better believe the media is going to help sell this lie. For the next year, they're going to scream that without property taxes, Florida schools are going to collapse, the roads will crumble, and we won't have cops or firefighters. Really? You think DeSantis spent 7 years turning Florida into the best run state in the country just to wreck it on his way out the door? Come on. Now remember, DeSantis can't introduce legislation himself, and so far, we don't know exactly what he wants in the final proposal to eliminate property taxes. But if Florida's going to do this right and actually protect homeowners, these 5 points I came up with need to be in the bill. No loopholes, no games, just a rock-solid plan that works for real Floridians. Number 1, end property taxes on all homesteaded homes, period. No breaks, no carve-outs, no watered-down versions. If it's your primary residence, you pay 0 in property taxes. Doesn't matter if you've lived there 30 years or just closed last week. If you live in the home, you're covered. People are sick of getting taxed to death. You work your whole life to pay off your house, and the government still sends you a bill every year just to keep it. That's not ownership. That's a scam. Ending property taxes gives people what they thought they already had, a home that's actually theirs. Number 2, keep taxing commercial properties. That means second homes, vacation homes, rentals, Airbnbs, corporate-owned houses, investment properties, and businesses. If it's not your primary residence, you still pay. This protects Florida homeowners without gutting the county budget. It also keeps out out-of-staters, snowbirds, foreign investors, and hedge funds like BlackRock and Blackstone from buying up neighborhoods and getting the same tax breaks real Floridians get. You want the exemption? Live here full-time, 6 months a year or more. Show your Florida ID, car registration, and voter registration at that address. No shell companies, no sidestepping the rules, one home, one tax break. Everything else, still taxed. Number 3, ban new local fees that try to replace property taxes. No sneaky workarounds. If property taxes are gone, counties and cities can't turn around and slap you with made-up service fees to get the money back. You better believe they're going to try it. Stormwater fees, garbage fees, whatever else they can think of. They'll put a price on everything just to keep the money flowing. But if we're killing the tax, we're killing the loopholes too. The savings stay with the homeowner. End of story. Number 4, cities and counties need to use the commercial property taxes they're already collecting to cover the essential services first. That means schools, police, firefighters, and roads, period. These are non-negotiable. Before a single dollar goes to pet projects, consultants, marketing teams, or anything else, essential services must be fully funded. Florida Doge already showed how bloated local budgets are. They're spending millions on fluff while claiming they can't afford basics. More on that in a minute. Number 5, stop property tax revenue from funding nonprofits or identity politics. Even before we eliminate the tax, this needs to be locked in. No more public dollars going to social engineering, activist groups, or political pet projects. If your nonprofit can't survive without property tax money, you're not a nonprofit. You're a government program. Property taxes should fund services, not agendas, period. And that takes us to everybody's biggest question. Where's the money going to come from for schools, roads, police, and firefighters if we eliminate property taxes completely? And just so you know, the state of Florida doesn't collect property taxes. The state gets nothing from it. All that money, it goes straight to counties and cities, and they're the ones blowing it. But Uncle Ronnie D's already shown us the answer. He's got Blazing Golia, Florida's CFO, running Florida Doge, and he's exposing all kinds of waste and abuse of property tax money. Blaze has found cities and counties increasing their budgets by over 50% in just 5 years.
Of course, so what do people say? Oh, that can't be done. You can't do that. And my question is why can't it be done? Look, the first place we went to with these audits was Broward County, Florida. They got 1.9 million people. They've had no net population growth over the last 5 years. Their budget's increased 60%.
A 60% increase in 5 years? That should be illegal. Let's look at Hillsborough County, where Tampa is. In their 2025 adopted budget, they're spending over $13.5 million on nonprofits. They're funding around 125 of them, names you've never heard of. Who owns them? Who's making money off them? Are they even doing what they're supposed to be doing? Who knows? Is that really what our property tax money is supposed to be spent on? And here's a little detail that's going to piss you off. Sorry. Diane Hart, a state rep for the Tampa area, makes $100,000 a year as the CEO of a nonprofit, which is getting $100,000 in property tax money from Hillsborough County for the next 2 years. And it gets worse. She sits on the Florida House Select Committee on property tax reform. Yeah, one of the people deciding whether or not to end property taxes is personally benefiting from property tax money. It's all legal for some reason, but you think that's a conflict of interest? I do. These are the people telling you we can't eliminate property taxes. Does it make sense now? I did a video on Diane Hart and show all the receipts. Links in the description below. Blaze and Florida Doge found over $1.5 billion in waste from just 9 counties. $1.5 billion. These politicians are balling out with your property tax money like they're at the strip club. Here's some of the waste they found. Broward County spent $175,000 on art in the metaverse. Orlando spent $460,000 to count trees, and Orange County spent $223,000 to promote LGBT gender identity to kids. So yeah, if Floridians vote to eliminate property taxes, DeSantis and Blaze have already shown the money's there. If cities and counties just cut the waste, they can more than cover the difference. They just won't be able to funnel your money into their buddies' NGOs and nonprofits anymore. And that makes them sad. That's why they're jamming 13 proposals down our throats instead of passing one clear joint resolution that eliminates property taxes completely on homesteaded homes. And for the counties that don't bring in a ton of money from tourism and might need help in their budgets when we eliminate property taxes,
I can take all 32 fiscally constrained counties. I could fund 100% of tax revenue that would be derived from a homestead, Florida residents, property taxes, and it's like budget dust for us. I mean, we got a massive surplus, so we can do that and we will do that. So don't let anybody in the rural counties act like you're not going to be able to do, because I can just do it without even worrying. I'm not going to let that keep us from doing property tax relief. So if I have to do appropriation, I'm going to support doing an appropriation. I mean, it's just that simple.
At the end of the day, this is about having the balls to stick up for Florida taxpayers. DeSantis doesn't do what's politically correct or what the media and politicians think will win elections. He does what's right for the people, and that scares politicians that are worried about their next election. So call or email your Florida State House rep and tell them you want one clean joint resolution that eliminates property taxes on homesteaded homes. I'll drop a link in the description so you can find your State House rep quick. Tell them you want property taxes to stop. That stands for Stop Taxing Our Properties. I just made that up, and yeah, I kind of love it. If you do too, drop the word stop in the comments. Want to see just how crazy these politicians are getting with your tax money? Click here to see how a Florida mayor blew $300 million in property taxes. This is the biggest waste DeSantis and Florida Doge have uncovered so far. Think that money went to schools, roads, or first responders? Think again. Click here, and I'll see you there.